What's going on, guys? My name is Orion, and I'm a child of the Most High God. However, for the workforce, what I do is real estate, invest in real estate. So we're in the creative investment side of real estate. So we do subject to seller finance, wholesale, retail, novations, things like this. Personally, everybody's got a story, but at the end of the night, here's a little gist of like my story. I grew up in Iowa. Iowa's an awesome place. However, the place that I grew up in Iowa is predominantly white people. And as you can see, I'm not completely white. I'm half white and my mother is Vietnamese, so I'm half Vietnamese and half white. So growing up, I had friends hanging out. We'd play basketball, do all the things the kids did. But then when we got a little bit older, maybe like 8, 9 years old, like when the sleepovers and things like this come over to the house. One time we were I was on the baseball team. We were in a bus going to Monrovia, Iowa. And one of the kids out of like 15 kids in that whole van just said, "Yeah, my mom doesn't like you." The kid's name was Alex, by the way. I mean, if you ever see this, Alex, come on, man, that was rude for you to say that back then, because that really did something to me up here, right? I was like, huh? I never heard anything like that before. So all the 15 kids, but then it was like a chain effect, like 2, 3 more of them said, yeah, my mom said the same thing. And then it was like kind of weird after that, where maybe I was like maybe acting out because I never heard it. That's kind of like traumatic. Like, I don't fit in. These are my friends. I didn't know what it was, but I found out maybe like 20 years later why all that happened. But right there, that started some insecurity. I'm not able to fit in, right? So sometimes as I was growing up, especially when we moved to different places because my dad was moving around, is that you'd have to join a new school. It's just like a human nature thing. So when I'd go to these new schools or just try to fit in with people, I would act out. I would do stupid things that would either get me in trouble or hurt myself or put myself at risk. Looking back in hindsight, if we were all jumping off a bridge, like a railroad track, and there's like a bridge and like we'd go out and jump off the bridge, like maybe I'd try a backflip just to get the attention. I'd never done a backflip before, but if you're 40 feet up, you probably get injured doing that. Things like this, you know what I mean? So as you grow, that kind of like builds, right? Because you're unaware of it. So now it's kind of like you're just going along with the process of like, this is who I am. And growing up, like I had like, they diagnosed me with ADHD and some of these other things where my parents just listened to the culture out there, like, and sent me to like therapy. But I would never say anything back then because I was so shy. It was the insecurity, like meeting new people. I was always insecure. That made my hands sweat. And then as an adult, I didn't want to meet people because my hands used to sweat all the time. So this stuff that happened at a young age continued unaware to me all up to my adult years. So when I got into teenage years, everybody was going to school, everybody's going to college. I got kicked out of high school. They said I couldn't come back till I was a junior, right? So I went to alternative school in kind of like the hood of the area that I lived in. And that didn't help out because now you're just hanging out with worse kids, you know what I mean? So I did that a year, and then I found out about this military program and I volunteered. So I went to military school, right? I graduated from that, but I was so young, 16 years old, graduating while my class was still in like juniors. So now I started college and the cycle happened again. So school didn't work out, bad relationship. So I joined the military. When I joined the military and we got deployed, that's when I started gambling. That's when it kind of got dark for me. Now I'm looking at like 22 years old, 23, 24 years old-ish. So the alcohol and then the gambling. And it was just sports gambling. It wasn't like casino gambling. It was straight sports gambling. So I had like bookies, and that just got a dark path. But you're unaware. And looking back, I did a lot of these things because I wanted to fit in. And growing up, my mom would always tell me, be yourself, Orion, be yourself. And I never knew what that meant. So going up in my adult years, I was in the furnace, my friend. I was in the darkness, and I was unaware that I was in the darkness. And then one day, my friend, I learned about sales. Now I'm in the light, and my mental health is like becoming more aware that you need to grow in life and not stay stagnant, to live and not die. So I started doing a lot of personal development. And now I'm in the light going towards it. I'm in sales, I'm making some money. And then as you like get to be more aware that you actually have a mind, my friend, you can start being more aware of yourself, which is going to give you more mastery over your life. Sometimes maybe you're like cold calling right now, or you just started a real estate agency, or you're just a new real estate agent in the brokerage, right? You need to get deals. It's something you've never done before. Like, let's say like pick up the phone and start making some phone calls. That's not going to be fun to you. Your mind is going to tell you, what are you doing, Cassandra? This is stupid. Nobody's answering. It's the leads. I can't do this all the time. I'm bored. Or your mind is so weak where you just quit after a couple phone calls. How can you help yourself? Be renewed in the spirit, my friend. It says, be renewed by the transforming of your mind. Your old self is gone. So what is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to do? First, before a goal, if you have a goal, there has to be a sacrifice. You got to sacrifice something. A marathon trainer, a marathon runner, athlete, he's training to run that Ironman at the end of the year. So it's the same thing. He's sacrificing his time to do that. that to get better so he can accomplish it. So you have a goal, a monetary goal, health goal, spirituality goal, relationship goal. There's something that you're gonna have to sacrifice. If it's not really going well at home with the wife, well, there's probably gonna have to be some sacrifice in you finding out what it is and then sacrificing that thing so you can have a better relationship. Same thing with money. You wanna make $100,000 a month or a year, let's say a year, and you've never done that before? Well, guess what? You're gonna have to do things that you never done before to get that thing, which is the $100,000. So you're gonna have to give up some things, no Netflix, the weekends, you know what I mean? Whatever, to get that goal. But that starts in the mind. If you don't believe that that's how you can do it, then you're never gonna do it. Like, am I not really working until it's 5 o'clock? Let's say you work till 5 o'clock. Am I making one last call? Am I making one last rep? Like, your word is your bond. The more times you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, good friend, you're training your mind to believe you that you can't do it. So if you say you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You gotta train your mind like this. My friend, where your mind goes, that's where energy flows. A lot of us don't start something because we have an unbelief in ourselves, an uncertainty about ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves, but it's all unconscious. It dates back when you're a little child. So whatever came in, if you grew up in a culture where there's a lot of people that it was negative, it was dark, like, you're gonna grow up until you're aware of that, then you can change. You need to be aware of this. So be aware of your actions.